Yes, City Extra fan cams. I got Amos from the City Report podcast with me here following our 2-0 win over Nottingham Forest. A lot happened in that game, more than I expected, but overall, what do you think?
Sat there at half-time thinking, quiet day at the office, 2-0 up, it's going to be a decent game, a few goals in the second half. 46 minutes was it, Roger red card, and it went a bit wild.
Fastest red card in the second half ever.
Typical City.
Another broken record.
yeah, the 160th charge there. But yeah, it was. I was so impressed with that second half. I mean, we've seen City win 5-0. We know we can do that. But to see us defend a lead like that, obviously created one or two chances. Probably should have scored. But it's an extra bow to the arrow for City, I think, which is important.
I think our strongest facet to our game is our defence.
Yeah.
Like you see players today like Vardiol, Ake Akanji, Ruben Diaz was a monster. Yeah. These guys are just the top of the game right now.
And they love defending. Last season, Pep Guardiola credited the treble win, the fact he had players who could defend, and maybe it was a sly dig at people who'd come before him. But, Guardiola, he's come in and he's slotted in straight away. Nathan Ake came off the bench, he looked perfect. Shout out Calvin Phillips, by the way.
Yeah.
I thought he did really well. He's not going to be tougher circumstances he'll ever come on into a game in. 2-0 up, granted, you've got the lead, but the pressure's on you. Rodri, who's obviously ahead of you, and rightly so, has just been sent off. So, yeah, really, lots of positives, and not really the positives we have most of the time. It was a new extra element to City, which was important.
Well, I think that's why the atmosphere, surprisingly, was so good today.
Yeah.
And I know where you sit, the atmosphere is quite good normally anyway, but in the South Stand, it felt like we were playing Liverpool or United at one stage. The fans were properly up for it because we saw a different level of energy from the team, I think, today that we're not used to. But I want to ask you a bit more about that Roger red card because he's going to miss the next 3 games. I believe they're Wolves away, Newcastle away, and Arsenal away. Now, I've already said and made it clear, I think we'll be fine for the first 2.
Yes.
But the Arsenal game, it's a massive loss not having him there. Because remember, they had Thomas Partey out last season for the game down there, and it was a big blow for them. Could it have a similar effect for us, or do you think Pep will work his magic?
There's magic bound to be worked because it's Pep Guardiola, but I've always said in last season's treble run, Erling Haaland goes out injured, fair enough, City can replace him with Alvarez. Ruben Diaz goes out injured, fair enough, City can replace him with John Stones, Akanji, Ake, whoever. Rodri is the only player who we don't have a direct replacement for, and that's fine because he's the best in the world at what he does. So you're looking at that game against Arsenal, is it going to be a title battle? Perhaps we'll have to see how they do against Tottenham, but it is a major loss. It's an absolutely major loss, and on top of that, the players who are out on to that side as well. John Stones, Bernardo Silva. It's going to be a tough one. So it'll be interesting to watch.
We don't really make any excuses though, do we? We just keep soldiering on. I see other clubs talking about injuries all the time, but look, it is what it is. If I put a gun to your head, who would you want to play in that holding midfield role in the Emirates, or even just over the next course of the 3 games?
You know what? I'll back him, Calvin Phillips.
Yeah.
You know what? I think he's had a tough start to his City career. He struggled, but I reckon this is a coming of age time for him, and I think he can step up for it. He looks up for it anyway, at least today.
Well, listen, maybe it's Calvin Phillips' time to shine. Let's have to see. Thanks very much, Amos.
Absolute pleasure.